I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. There's no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Driven all stars in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Wentz now on first down. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it won't be easy.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on fourth and goal from the 1. They'll go with a keeper. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line.
On the mark. Trey 15. Go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Here's Matt. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Bud Dupree in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Working from the gun, Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Good chip. Red 5-2, hot here.
On 2nd down, Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Hey, ram. 74.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Wentz going to go on 4th down. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Handoff comes to Cook. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Again, this is Cook. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
81.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz being chased out left. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one down the line of scrimmage.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to go down again.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go deep for Conley. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. So a minute 55 to go in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a run with Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Hot. Hot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The throw left side complete. That's Mack. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands.
All right, here we go.
That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Mack. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, it's Mack, and he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans send the punter out, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Shorty. Lion.
Wentz now on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Shorty.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Texans on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Trey Boston. Then they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They'll run with Mack. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Green 39!
Staying on the ground with Mack. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On third down, it's Mack, and he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Kenny Clark in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On play action, Wentz escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
81.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
81. Black. Please.
Here's Wentz to throw. Buying time to his left. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that?
on. What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. Pretty move. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
319.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to go deep for Conley. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
.44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter play. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Running with Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Come on now, let's go. Ram.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Go. Black, come on. Black, come on.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole...
And the pressure gets to him again. Marcel Darius in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was all state. I'll make it rain out here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hang in there now.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively.
The other side, solid.
Again, it's Kamara. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run with Cook. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
That's it, baby.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Cook following the penalty. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the kick by Elliott is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And now out comes Houston. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job. You're knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, will step aside. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This from long, very long range. And his kick is no good. And just barely missing it wide to the right. So a field goal that could have won it went awry. Pretty good distance field goal. It wasn't a chip shot, but still, that one's going to stick with him for a little while, you'd have to think.
It is, and I know that he missed that one, and they walk off the